Ladies and gentlemen, this is Big Ray's Wrestling Show. If you don't know me, I am the Mark of the Masses, the man with a plan. Big Ray here to stay to talk some TNA Today Impact 2014. Guys, before I jump into this really excellent show, and I've been saying this every single week for the past few weeks now, I gotta be honest with you. TNA Impact has been putting good or very good show after very good show after very good show. And this show tonight not only had really good matches, but excellent storytelling. I'm telling you guys, I really feel in my heart that TNA Wrestling has finally made the turn. Again, my opinion, I would like to know your opinion. Of course, guys, leave your opinions here at onewrestling.com or YouTube /OneWrestling videos right down below. Now, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, every single week to follow my good friend Andre Corbeil at Andre_Corbeil. Please, guys, check out the Can-Am Wrestling Show every Saturday night, Eastern Standard U.S. time. We're going to have a really great guest in Jamin Olivencia. If you guys don't know who Jamin Olivencia is, he is the longest reigning OVW champion. Guys, it's going to be really exciting. And of course, you can follow me at Big Ray Show. And of course, follow the legend Bill Apter at After One Wrestling. Now, let me jump into this Impact, guys. Really great show tonight. We have Gunner, and I haven't been a fan of Gunner, but little by little Gunner is actually winning me over, and Gunner actually will be challenging Magnus. He got that suitcase. He will be challenging Magnus for the TNA World Heavyweight Title. I'm sorry that you see this beautiful title right behind me over here. The TNA World Heavyweight Title is up for grabs, and the winner of that match will face Samoa Joe at Lockdown. So we jump right into it. In Backstage, we have Dixie and Magnus, and they're basically discussing some type of the announcement that's going to be made, whether they will accept MVP's challenge, winner take all. Basically, if MVP's team wins, they will take control. MVP will take control of TNA, and obviously, if Dixie's team wins, she will maintain control and kick MVP to the curb. Now, Magnus says something very interesting. He tells Dixie that if Dixie goes down, he's not going down with her. Magnus, I really like the way Magnus's character is developing, because I'm seeing that Magnus is that ruthless, I don't give a damn, you know, I'm out for me, and he's basically using the president of TNA as a pawn. You know, I mean, really good. But Magnus comes to the ring, calls out MVP, and he basically, you know, he says to MVP that he's not impressed by MVP. Now, he made a comment that he wasn't impressed by the 9 years MVP did in prison, and he says 9 minutes in the ring with the champion, that's really hard time. And then he called MVP a 50-cent knockoff. Now, I'm not talking about the American currency. We're obviously talking about the rapper, which was really funny. Actually made me laugh. Now, MVP says that that Magnus basically has self-esteem issues, or low self-esteem issues, where he walks around, oh, look at me, I'm the champion. Oh, look at me, I'm the champion. I'm the champion. I mean, really good back and forth between these guys. Well, the question is, will Magnus and will Dixie accept it? And you know what? They do. They do. They accept the challenge, and Magnus gets in the face of MVP. He says, and I will win this match, and I will make you my Bia. And before he was going to call him his, you know what, MVP cut him off. You better not say it. He does it again. You better not say it. He does it again. You better not say it. He goes, biatch. MVP punches him right in the face, and he proceeds to attack Magnus. Now, Ethan Carter III jumps MVP from behind. Now, while Ethan Carter and Magnus, the champions, are attacking MVP, the Wolves are being held backstage from helping MVP by security and Rockstar Spud. Well, it was basically a setup, but the Wolves finally beat the hell out of the security guards, and then they kind of throw Rockstar over to the side, and they're able to run to the ring. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, the challenger for the World Heavyweight Championship, Gunner, runs down the stage. He actually makes a save. Now, they're clearing the ring, and basically, as Ethan Carter III and Magnus are trying to basically leave the ring. You know, they have their backs turned to the stage. You have the American Wolves. I'm sorry, the Wolves. I keep calling them American Wolves. That's what I know them as. But they have the Wolves walking right behind them, basically. And Magnus basically shoves Ethan Carter right in the face of the Wolves. And guess what? The Wolves basically attack with a spinning back kick, and they basically take out Ethan Carter. Now we go backstage, and Ethan Carter is not happy. He's not happy, and Magnus basically says, you know what? Just fall in line, man. Fall in line. Do what's best for the company. Ethan Carter doesn't seem like he's very, very happy. He's like, oh, you got it. You got, very sarcastically. You got it. I got your back. You got it. I got your back. Don't worry about it. Now we go onto the ring. We have Samoa Joe. And Samoa Joe basically is not booked for any match tonight. He wants to fight. And he basically calls out anyone who's down with Dixieland. Well, the Bromans come down with Zema Ion, and last week Samoa Joe basically choked out Zema Ion. But anyway, Joe basically says, you know what, I'm going to make this easy. Which one of you guys are going to be? I'm going to make this easy. I'll take on all three of you guys. And Samoa Joe proceeds in attacking all three of these guys. Now, basically after a suicide dive, this is towards the end of the match, after a suicide dive from Samoa Joe going between the ropes and taking out the tag team champions and the Bromans, he picks up Zema Ion for a muscle buster, hitting the rear naked, oh I'm sorry, hitting the muscle buster, putting him in the rear naked choke, and of course Zema Ion taps out. Man, again, they are building this monster up. Now, the question I have for you guys is, and I want you guys to please respond here below. Hit me up on Twitter or just hit me here at onewrestling.com or YouTube /OneWrestlingVideo. Is it too late to build Samoa Joe into a monster? Now, TNA had basically kind of tore him down under other regimes. There was a point in time where I said, yo, Samoa Joe has to leave TNA Wrestling because they have taken this 300-pound Samoa submission machine and turned him into basically a mid-card chump. But it seems like they're doing the right thing. But is it too late? I don't think it is. I want to know your opinion, guys. So now we go backstage, and we have Christy Hemme, and she's getting some help with her microphone from some poor guy backstage. And I say poor guy because when Christy Hemme walks away, Samuel Shaw comes in from behind wearing his black outfit with his black gloves, and he kind of chokes the kid from behind. He's like, shh, shh. Real calm, real calm, and then proceeds to throw him right into a wall, basically into the gate, taking the kid out. And Samuel Shaw, little by little, is getting creepier and creepier and creepier. So we continue, we move on, and we have in a really weird, almost out of this world segment for me, we have Bobby Roode, and Bobby Roode is talking with Cowboy James Storm, and basically he proceeds to apologize for all the bad things that he's done in the past. And then it basically looked like Bobby Roode was going to retire. And then after their long discussion and Cowboy James Storm tries to encourage him, they basically, well, they hug it out, which was really, really weird to see that, because we haven't seen that since they were down with Beer Money, and again, one of the TNA's best tag teams. So we move on. We have Austin Aries, and he's backstage. He finally comes in, the X Division champion. He's greeted by MVP in the office, and MVP basically needs an anchor for the team. And Austin Aries says, well, I'm no anchor. Anchor holds things down. I elevate. I rise above. So MVP did not get a full yes. He didn't get a no. But apparently Austin Aries will let him know. But it looks really good. Now, we're going to jump into a women's knockouts match where basically Gail Kim would face the knockouts champion Madison Rayne. Now, prior to the match, Gail Kim attacked Madison Rayne. Oh, and ladies and gentlemen, OneWrestling.com's own Sir Steve Linsky, Mr. Steve Linsky, you could check out OneWrestling.com, check out YouTube /OneWrestlingVideo. You'll see Steve Linsky's, he's done a lot of stuff for us. He's done a lot of one-on-one chats. He actually recently was chatting with Bill Apter. Check that out, man. It's pretty cool. He's a really, really cool guy, and we support him, and I think he does a great job as a referee for TNA overseas. But anyway, Steve Linsky was refereeing the match, and anyway, so it was basically a street fight between these two girls, and you know, it was a decent match. It was basically a hardcore match, and the issue is that Lei D Tappa kept getting involved. Her physical presence was too much. Basically, at one point towards the end of the match, we have Lei D Tappa in the ring. Oh, there was a spot where Gail Kim is holding a steel chair up to her face, and Madison Rayne kicked the chair, and I swear I know this girl lost teeth, and that being Gail Kim. Unfortunately, she'll have to go home to Chef Ramsay with a toothless smile. But other than that, and I'm kidding, obviously, but no, Gail Kim really took a nice shot to the face by that chair. You can't fake that, guys. So basically, Lei D Tappa's in the ring, and we have Madison Rayne hitting her with, it wasn't a kendo stick, but it was a long stick. She was hitting her with the stick. It just made her more angry, and she's about to attack her with the chair. That being Madison Rayne gonna attack Lei D Tappa with the chair. Gail Kim had been down on the canvas for some time, and while the referee was being distracted, Gail Kim grabbed the Knockouts title, hitting Madison Rayne behind the head, knocking her out for the 1, 2, 3, and they try to actually put over the bleeding nose of Gail Kim as a broken nose. But looking at it really good, I don't think it was a broken nose. Maybe it was, I'm not really sure. But anyway, she was bleeding a lot out of her nose. So we got EC3 backstage. Now EC3 is talking, oh, by the way, next week, obviously, if you haven't checked it out, Kurt Angle is going to be inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame. And EC3, well, basically he alludes to the fact that Kurt Angle's gonna make he's gonna make some news. He's gonna say something that's gonna I guess shake TNA up a bit, and it almost sounds like he's saying that Kurt Angle's gonna retire, which I don't think. If he retires, I actually wouldn't be too surprised. Kurt Angle has been through hell. Everybody knows that he won that gold medal with a broken friggin' neck, and in the Olympics. And anyway, and the guy asking the questions behind the camera was answered by EC3, and EC3 basically stated, you know, patience is a virtue. When asked about the big announcement that Kurt Angle is gonna announce next week, and I don't know if he's gonna retire. I haven't heard anything, guys. If you have, leave your comments here below. If you want to privately message me on Twitter, do that. You know, if you have any sources, let me know, guys. But so far, I haven't heard anything about Kurt Angle really retiring, unless it's kayfabe. But anyway, so now we go. Cowboy James Storm is basically giving a pep talk to Gunner, and he does that, and then we move on, and we have Bobby Roode, and Bobby Roode comes to the ring, and he looks totally dejected. He comes into the ring, and you can tell he's solemn, he's down, and he starts putting TNA over, and he starts putting over the fact that he lived his dream as a professional wrestler. Then Bobby Roode says that, you know, he's done a lot of bad things in the past, but he can't change that. The past is the past. What he can change is his future. Bobby Roode then says, tonight is my last night as a professional wrestler. Now, I thought he was going to go on and say, yeah, I'm not a professional wrestler no more. I'm going to be an ass kicker, and I'm going to go take over TNA. But he doesn't say that. He basically decides to walk off. And he attempts to walk off, but he is cut off by Dixie Carter. And Dixie Carter basically says, listen, she goes, honey, you cannot just walk out whenever you want. You're under a TNA contract. I tell you when to go. She basically gets in his face, and Bobby Roode basically tells her, you know, stick it where the sun don't shine. I do what I want to do. It's my life. I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. Well, Dixie Carter then kind of does the good cop, and she changes her tone with Bobby Roode, and she apologizes for Bobby, and she asks Bobby to be the anchor, be the team of Team Dixie. And then she does something crazy. She actually promises Bobby Roode, and she tells Bobby Roode that, well, let me tell you what she promised. She promised Bobby Roode 10% of the company, so Bobby Roode will be an owner, a freaking owner of TNA. Now, here's the funny thing. Dixie Carter tells Bobby, you don't trust me? Get your lawyers. They can draw up the paperwork. My God, I mean, I got to be honest with you. Even I would accept that. And Bobby Roode does. But Bobby Roode warned her. And Bobby Roode says, yeah, I agree. I will be the anchor for your team. But Bobby Roode does say this. Dixie, if you try to screw me, I will ruin your life. Wow. So anyway, backstage, ladies and gentlemen, we have this gentleman, Bad Bones, being interviewed. He is the German gut check winner, and I noticed Christy Hemme in the background talking with Mr. Anderson. They were kind of going through a phone, it looked like, and out of nowhere, Samuel Shaw comes and attacks Mr. Anderson, knocking out Christy Hemme because she goes headfirst into the gate backstage, and then he proceeds to pick up Christy Hemme and take her away. He kidnaps Christy Hemme. I'm telling you again, love the character development for Samuel Shaw. So now we have the American Wolves. We move on to a tag team match. American Wolves versus Bad Influence. Now backstage, Bad Influence, basically, you know, I don't know if you remember the great team of Ego, Bad Influence and Bobby Roode. They were talking to Bobby Roode backstage, and they said, "Oh, this is great. Now, you know, we're gonna take charge of TNA, and it's gonna be great. You know, we're gonna be together. Let's bring back the best team in the business." And Bobby Roode says, "You gotta prove yourself, guys." Bobby Roode. I'm gonna get into Bobby Roode in a little bit, but honestly, you know what? I'll just say it right now. Bobby Roode. Me and Andre Corbeil have been talking about Bobby Roode making a face turn. And I swear, I have a good feeling that Bobby Roode, his character, is going to do a big 360. You can call me on it. I would like to know what you guys think. But I think Bobby Roode's face turn is about to come. We'll find out. But anyway, we have the American Wolves, or the Wolves, versus the Bad Influence. And let me tell you something. Really, really fun match to watch. Excellent match. Any match is good with those two tag teams. Two of the best tag teams in professional wrestling today. Now basically, long story short, to cut this short, after a huge double stomp from Eddie Edwards from the top rope onto the back of Daniels, Davey Richards comes off the top rope with a huge double stomp to the solar plexus, to the stomach of Daniels for the 1, 2, 3. Again, excellent match. Really good, fast pace. And I got to tell you something, these Wolves are looking really, really, really tough. And, well, apparently Bad Influence does not prove their value. And I would like to see the interaction between Bad Influence and Bobby Roode next week. And I'm interested to see who you think Bobby Roode will pick to be his teammates. Because obviously, I don't think he's picking Bad Influence. Well, I guess we'll have to wait till next week. And then we have another extremely, extremely, extremely creepy and weird, black and white, faded, blurry, promo by Will-O-the-Wisp. We live, we die. I mean, I know it's Jeff Hardy, but it's still kind of creepy. But anyway, so now we move on to the main event of the evening. And I'm going to say something to you. Gunner, again, didn't really believe in him. After watching this match, I can honestly say that I see Gunner as a potential and possible World Heavyweight Champion down the road. I think he still needs a little more character development. I know he has that whole psychopath, I kind of lose my temper type thing. But, you know, Gunner, this match was good. I thought Gunner had an excellent match, and Magnus is very, very good. And he's getting better as a heel champion. I'm so glad they turned him heel. It has been so good for his career in TNA. But anyway, during the match, we had Magnus, and Magnus was basically getting his behind handed to him, and he slightly took control. And while he took control, he started calling to the backstage, calling for help. Well, he didn't get help. He basically had the Wolves and James Storm come down to basically even the odds, but no help showed up for him. Well, again, later on during the match, EC3 and the Bromans, they run into the ring, and they're actually stopped by the Wolves, and they're stopped by Cowboy James Storm, and they fight their way to the back. Now, after a huge flying headbutt from Gunner onto the World Heavyweight Champion Magnus, he goes for a pin. 1, 2, and just before that 3 lands, we have Rockstar Spud, who's been hiding right there by the apron, and he places the champion's foot on the rope. The referee has to stop the count, breaks the pin, and then basically Cowboy James Storm comes down and he basically chases Rockstar Spud away. So then we think it's going to be even Steven. It's going to be an even match. And now, oh, and by the way, Magnus also gets, while all this is happening, Magnus actually got hit. I'm not Magnus, I'm sorry. Gunner actually gets hit with the world title belt. This is actually during the match, and Gunner actually kicks out. So it was good. I actually thought that after Gunner was hit by the title belt, the match would be over, but that didn't happen. So anyway, long story short, we have Cowboy, and everything's going crazy. Cowboy's in the ring, and he takes Rockstar Spud. He throws him over the top rope. He clears the ring. The referee is checking on Spud, and he's telling Gunner, jump off that top rope, hit him with that big headbutt, finish him off. And he jumps off the top rope, but he lands headfirst into a last call super kick by Cowboy James Storm, knocking out the title contender. The referee didn't see it, looking like, what the hell just happened? Both these guys are knocked out. Magnus rolls over for the 1-2-3 pin. It's very rare when I watch wrestling nowadays that I kind of go, oh, damn. But that last call super kick was really, really well done, perfectly timed. And Cowboy James Storm turns on his partner. Now, these guys are supposed to compete for the World Tag Team titles. Is that going to happen? Does the briefcase go somewhere else? I mean, so many questions. TNA has been so much fun to watch. And I got to be honest with you, I think this week TNA won the week in professional wrestling. I did watch Raw. Raw was pretty good, but I really enjoyed TNA this week a little more. Guys, I would like to know what you guys think. And I say this every single week, guys. I would do this for a living, but if I can, I would do it anyway. Why? Because I love talking wrestling, guys. Follow us here every single week at onewrestling.com, YouTube /OneWrestlingVideo. Follow me on Twitter at Big Ray Show. Follow us on Twitter at onewrestling.com. Don't forget to follow Mr. Bill Apter, the legend, at Apter One Wrestling, and of course my Can-Am tag team partner, my brother from the north, my Canadian compadre, Andre Corbeil, and Andre_Corbeil. Don't forget to check out the Can-Am Wrestling Show with special guest this week, Jamin Olivencia, longest reigning OVW champion. It's going to be really exciting, and guys, I am looking forward to Lockdown. I am looking forward to TNA next week. Guys, I will see you next week. Love you. Peace.